This is TWiT.
So, iOS 16.3, Ventura, what is it? I don't even know. 11, I don't know what it is. It's all 13. Yeah, you don't know either, do you?
1, 2? I don't know. Which one are you talking about?
It's all new, baby. It's all new. In fact, even if you have older versions of it's macOS Ventura 13.2, but older versions are getting updated of iOS and macOS. iPadOS is also updated to 16.3. According to Apple's website, these are fixing security exploits, including patches in Apple Mobile File Integrity, Image I/O, Kernel, Mail, Maps, Safari, and WebKit. Whoa. For instance, there's 9to5Mac found a exploit in the Weather app that could allow other apps to bypass privacy preferences. Another exploit in WebKit, which is, of course, what Safari and all browsers use on iOS. 2 exploits that could lead to, and this is bad, arbitrary execution of malicious code. But the biggest thing I think end users will notice is support for security keys. This is very interesting. You can now use your YubiKey, for instance, to log into your iOS or Mac device, or to provide two-factor. Instead of the 6-digit code that Apple pushes, you could use a key to do that. Apple has a post about this, about how to use it. It's probably worth reading if you're interested in doing that. It's HT213154. Hut. And they talk about which security keys they support and all of that. So I like this. I mean, I use YubiKey for two-factor on my password manager and a few other things. I think this is an interesting thing. Will any of you use that instead of the normal?
I'm looking at it.
Yeah, I think for you especially, Alex. Yeah.
Yeah.
They require that you have two.
Yeah,
two
we're not
keys.
high-value targets.
Right. But Alex, yeah,
Alex is definitely,
He's
he's in their crosshairs.
You do have to have at least 2 FIDO-certified security keys. YubiKey has a couple that work with any device, iOS or macOS. You'll have to have two-factor set up, of course, already. You'll need a browser that supports security sign-in. But here's something you should keep in mind. It won't work with older machines. So if you can't get your machine up to macOS 13.2 or iOS 16.3 or iPadOS 16.3, you won't be able to use your key. So I don't know what the fallback is. That's an issue. You can't sign into iCloud for Windows either. Child accounts and managed IDs are not supported. And Apple Watches won't work if you haven't paired them with your phone. You have to pair them with your phone, not a family member's iPhone. So if you're using it for your kids or as a senior in your family, something like that, you have to redo it.
This
did
is
they
the
say
same
what
story
the
as Apple's
fallback
end-to-end
is?
encryption, right? It's
Yeah.
it's the end-to-end encryption. It's like this is a brand new security regime, basically. So you need all devices who support it. And so, you know, if you're going to support this, you've got to upgrade everything. You have to do that or it won't work.
Yeah, because if you have a fallback, if, for instance, they have a fallback and say, no, don't worry, if you don't have your key, we'll text you. Then that's the lowest
security hole.
That's the security.
Right.
That's the lowest, whatever the worst security is, that's the one you got to watch out for, even if you, well, no, but I need a key. No, you don't. You just need a text, which we can snarf. So I presume Apple doing it right is going to make it pretty hard. Do they have a button that says lost my YubiKey? I'm so scared about doing this that I don't. It's just like advanced data protection, isn't it? It's like, I don't know. I don't want to get locked out of stuff.
Yeah, and the fact of the matter is, this is an important new feature for the credibility of the entire platform. And I know they've been around for close to 40 years, but still there are no-go points for certifying certain pieces of hardware for certain applications. So it's good to have this hardware key support. For most people, it's actually kind of important to have to be able to say, "Hi, Apple. Yeah, you know what I did? I did this stupid thing. I forgot this thing. thing. Could you please give me access back to all my information? So yeah, don't do this because it's cool to have a key on your fob that makes you feel like a super secret agent, because at some point you're going to say, if I weren't so worried about North Korean hackers busting in and finding out what my high scores are on all my games, I would not have to basically be reconstructing all of my playlists and all my photos and everything right now.
Yeah, I think it's actually using a similar philosophy in another way to the end-to-end encryption stuff, which is it requires you to create two keys. So it's basically saying you can have a YubiKey. You need to add another key. So the idea there is that you're not. They don't want. You've got to have two baskets for your eggs. Basically,
you can have two YubiKeys. You don't have to have two separate. Google did this too when they did the advanced protection, and the reason is if you lose your YubiKey, you're SOL. So the thought is that you In fact, I often register 3 or 4 YubiKeys. Carry one on my keychain as I do here, and then put the other ones in a safe in case you lose this one, because otherwise, you're locked out.
Yeah. So Apple's good in saying you got to have at least two.
Yeah.
At least two.
Yeah.
Also, you always have to keep in mind, especially for your organization, what if only one person has access to this important part of your business or your nonprofit or whatever, and that person gets hit by a bus? You have to make sure that there's an outside way of getting into this data, or else you're absolutely hosed. There's absolutely nothing Apple can do for you right now.
Although, if you think about it, a key is maybe a better way to do it than something that might be locked up on my iPhone. If I have a key and I put it in a safe or a safety deposit box or somewhere, and I tell my wife that's the other key, and something happens to me, that actually could be easier for her than trying to figure out how to get into my phone so that she can do the authorization, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that's probably a good thing. But again, you need multiple keys. I presume Apple supports more than 2. I haven't tried it. A lot of, Bitwarden, when you can register as a number of keys, you can name them. You could say that's the one in the safe. That's the one on my keychain. That's probably the right way to do it. I would imagine Apple's doing it right. The press release came out today. It says Apple builds on privacy commitment by unveiling new education and awareness efforts on Data Privacy Day. Happy DPD. That's pretty darn exciting.
So that's why all those fireworks last night keep the dogs yellow.
We're all celebrating.
Saturday.
Yeah.
It's Saturday is actually Data Privacy Day, but why not make it a whole week? Apple decided that it's a whole week.
You get the Monday off,
I thought it was today. All right, it's the whole week. In any event, they're going to have, starting Saturday, they're going to have a new Today at Apple session, taking charge of your privacy on iPhone, which I think is great. And they will talk about mail privacy protection, safety check location services, and passkeys. I think that is really good.
Yeah, and it's a personal service right at the Apple Store, so they will actually look at your phone and say you could turn this on.
Oh, nice.
This is what will happen, and they can walk people through that stuff.
I think that's great. So there's also a website for this, which is apple.co/ what was it? I put it away before I skills-privacy. You can register it at skills- I have to go to Pleasanton. Wait a minute. Let me get. Let me choose
just wait.
a nearby
Don't
store.
load in Corte Madera before too long. Don't worry.
That's where I want to go. I want to meet you at the Corte Madera store. There it is.
Yeah, we can learn together.
Let's learn together. Apply. Okay, skills. So they're doing it Sunday. Oh, I'm working, man.
Yeah, that's the day after World Privacy Day. Come on,
man. Oh, there's one the next Sunday. Well, heck.
Heck. I read that it's an addition to the regular courseware available at Apple Store, so it should be like a regular class you can sign for.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah. Encourage all your family and friends. Take advantage of it. They're free. You have to reserve a place, but that's really a great thing.
Hey, we should talk Linux. It's the operating system that runs the internet, but your game consoles, cell phones, and maybe even the machine on your desk. But you already knew all that. What you may not know is that TWiT now has a show dedicated to it, the Untitled Linux Show. Whether you're a Linux pro, a burgeoning sysadmin, or just curious what the big deal is, you should join us on the Club TWiT Discord every Saturday afternoon for news, analysis, and tips to sharpen your Linux skills. And then make sure you subscribe to the Club TWiT exclusive Untitled Linux Show. Wait, you're not a Club TWiT member yet? Well, go to twit.tv/clubtwit and sign up. Hope to see you there.